Welcome back, everybody.
So it is February, it is Black History Month, and I've come to the conclusion I have no idea why there's a Black History Month, because it is so just history.
Yeah,
it is so history
period.
in general. Why are we confining this to 1 month? And I'm going to tell you why I'm feeling this way now. I went up north of Barrie. There's a church that was in danger of disappearing. It was built by the Black community, which was vibrant here in central Ontario. A lot made up of runaway slaves from the U.S. And this church was in danger of disappearing. It's going to cost the town of Oro-Medonte $200,000 to fix.
Oh.
That's a lot of money.
How have they been maintaining it so far?
Well, nobody has really. They just sort of wrapped it in plastic, made sure it wasn't weathered too much, but it was falling apart and it was in danger. It's not big by any means. It doesn't look all that significant, but it has so much significance. But I agree now when I hear people in the Black community saying, why aren't we teaching Black history as part of history in schools?
These lessons in class.
This story really envelops the War of 1812. It envelops the Underground Railroad. It envelops the Civil War in the U.S. It is
Canada's
so
a safe haven.
It is so far-reaching. And
so timely, because we're seeing it right now, too, with refugees flooding into our borders, right?
Exactly.
Really,
I mean,
it shows that these lessons in history needs to be told so we do not keep repeating the same mistakes.
I would love to see the curriculum sort of, what are we missing from history? We think Ontario and Canada's history is white history. That's what we think. That's what we're raised to think, and it's not. It is so intertwined. I am just blown away by this, and I am so sorry. I only have 2.5 minutes to tell this story, because this should be an hour. This whole story should be an hour to tell this story.
You went up there recently.
So let me set it up for you. It's the wilderness. It is up north of Barrie. It's a rural area. If you drove by it, you would think this building was just a shed or shack that was from years gone by, some old farm. And as it turns out, it's not the only church that was considered a Black church in this town. There is another one as well, which is a historic landmark. So here it is, as best as I can. Here is the story of the Black history of Central Ontario, in particular of these two churches.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom.
Slavery had actually only been abolished in Canada for a short few years. Yes, we had slavery here. But for those dreaming of freedom in the southern slave states, the northern states were not far enough to run. More and more, the final stops on the Underground Railway for many was the untamed wilderness of Upper Canada. It was here, on the shores of Lake Simcoe, that land grants were being given to white men and Black men alike. A Black man could also vote here. The hamlet of Shanty Bay, north of Barrie, takes its name from the shanties built here by former slaves. Many in the Black community helped to build this, St. Thomas Anglican Church, in 1838. They've done an incredible job keeping this church alive, restoring it when needed. But only about 13 kilometers that way, we were in danger of losing a very important piece of Black history in Ontario.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me.
This is Janie Cooper Wilson. She can trace her family back 9 generations to this area, including to a runaway slave from Virginia. These men fought in the War of 1812 against the Americans with a famed Captain Runcie Colored Brigade. Finally free, they would build this simple church in the wilderness of central Ontario.
They were free, and that was the main thing. They could be the masters of their own destiny. If you have faith, all things are possible.
Bands of angels coming after me.
When we did the reopening of the church and sending out all of the invitations, there were invitations that went all the way not only to British Columbia, but all the way to Newfoundland and from the United States, to get an idea of how they all branched out from here.
And we are who they were.
Coming forth together.